So, I spent 6 years in graduate school. I went straight from college to graduate school. There are some strengths to that approach, and there are some weaknesses to that approach. I will tell you a story about my nervous breakdown in graduate school, but that's different for a different day. During the last 2 years of being in graduate school, and any of you have gone through this process know, I sent out more than 100 job applications. Now, in some positions and for some careers, you could send that out in an afternoon, right? You click the button on LinkedIn or whatever. But when you're in kind of a specialized field and there are only so many positions that open up for what you do anywhere in the world or in the country, sending out 100 applications, it stinks of desperation, right? Which was fine, which is true. I was desperate. I really needed a job. My wife had a chronic medical condition, and we needed to make sure, and I had needed some medications, and so we needed to make sure that we had health insurance, and I was eager to sort of get out and prove myself, and with every rejection that I got, and rejections were one thing, but just never ever hearing back, I think was worse. It really sort of made me think, now that I'm in a position where I hire sometimes, how gentle you need to be to people. But for the first year that I put out job applications, I got a few bites, but I came to find that these were the kinds of invitations to interviews that came from hiring folks who just wanted the money to go to conferences and were justifying it by doing interviews. And so Sam Houston State University, for example, which turns out is in the death penalty capital of Texas. If you ever go to Sam Houston State University's webpage and go and click on the town, you will see that this town actually has electric chair bobbleheads to celebrate their claim to fame, which being the death penalty capital of Texas. I wasn't super eager about heading to Texas to Sam Houston State, but again, as I mentioned, I needed a job. I got, that was the first year, so the second year, I got a grand total of 1 invitation to go and have a serious job interview on a campus. And it was here at Shippensburg University. I had never heard of Shippensburg before, but I got invited here. I charmed them with my personality, as you can imagine. Most of you who've only known me for a year or two, you've benefited from 20 years of me, sawing off the rough edges of my personality. It's kind of hard to believe, I know, but my wife can tell you some stories. So in any event, I was super excited about the job. Everybody liked me a lot, it seemed like. I didn't embarrass myself too bad, which was a real win for me. And I went back home with a real good feeling about it, and I waited, kind of as I had been doing for many times before. And this was for a position that I thought was pretty good for me. And I finally got a phone call. And that phone call was from a colleague of mine now named Betty DeSantis. Actually, maybe some of you know Betty. And the call was to tell me how much she and they really liked my candidacy, but that they had gone with a different candidate. And that was, obviously demoralizing, right? And I was, kind of really bummed, and I ended up getting offered a position, a postdoc at the university I was at Michigan. But about a month later, those lessons of don't burn bridges, I just told them, I sent them a thank you letter, and told them how much I appreciated the visit, whatever, and about a month later, I got a call from another faculty member, Christine Senegal, who said, hey, we can't offer you a permanent position, but we can offer you a one-year position with possibility of it being 2. And so I had this decision to make. do I stay at Michigan for a year of this postdoc, or do I roll the dice and go to this place that I had never heard of before, but that I had a really good feeling about, and take that 1-year position and try my luck again next year? I did. During the year that I was there, we had a retirement of another faculty member. A new position was created that was exactly in my discipline. I'd like to say that there was no coincidence there, but there was. And here I am. So the trick here, I think, is that just when the moment is when you think that your luck has run out, roll that dice again, and Lady Luck may come next time around.